Okay, Monday, happy Monday. A little jumping and Olympic lifting in today's workout. So hopefully everybody's feeling good after the weekend. So let's go ahead and get the shoulders. Start warming up with shoulder blades. Since we have some snatches in there, we want to get a lot of blood flow into the muscle here. So let's go ahead and get about 10 of these and 10 back. And make sure that the arms are staying straight and that the spine is not moving. Most of you are pretty good at these now, but it's easy to let some common mistakes creep back in over time sometimes. Nice thing is you can potentially watch yourself on the video. Feedback on your computer or phone. Arm screw. That arm joint a bit. We'll go neck tilts today. So hands staying by the side, lifting with the ear. Rotation, so nice and tall. Keep the chin is tucked back. And then we're going to do a top half swimmer's hover as a prep. So for this one, hands are going to interlace in the back of the head. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together and draw the elbows back. We'll pause there. Make sure your ribs are down, core is engaged. Press the hands back off the head. Rotate back, kind of scarecrow type position. I'm going to straighten the arms out and reach. So we're kind of in this snatch grip position, really reaching. Reverse that, elbows down. Hands are back, externally rotated. Slowly coming back. Hands to behind the head. I'll relax forward for a moment. Do 2 more of those. Squeeze back, press, rotate, reach, bend, back and forward. And again. You really want to contract strongly on these. These work best with fairly high amount of effort. You're basically using your own body to stretch itself. For the hips, we'll go fairly close stance. Cycle the hips around. Cycle back. Come down to the ground. Point the toes, sit back, elbows to knees, palms up, flatten the back out. And then from here, exhale all the air out. Pause for a second. Holding your rib cage where it is. Big inhale. Let's expand 360 degrees through the rib cage. Pause. Exhale everything out. We'll do 1 more there. Come up to cat-cow. Cycle through about 4 nice smooth cat-cow reps. And from here, we're going to do the hip carve from here. So keeping the low back flat, knees forward, up to the side, rotate, heel up, back around. Of course, notice the heel does not actually come very close to the butt, but the goal is to try to get it there as much as possible. The other side. We'll tuck the toes under. Sit back, stretch out the bottoms of the feet. Adjust your angle to intensify or de-intensify the stretch as needed. Lean forward, point the toes. We'll go from here to here now, similar to where we were. Sit back, stretch out the front of the shins. Back, squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward just a bit. So in a little bit of a hero pose type position here. Drop back through, pull the toes under. Come into a nice low squatting position. Sink in and hold here. And we'll go ahead and come up. And then we got a little jumping / shoulder warm up. So here we're going to do 5 rounds. They'll all go pretty quick. 20 pogo hops. So we've been doing these a bunch. Start the first few rounds nice and easy, like what we've been doing. And as you get into maybe the 4th and the 5th round, you want to start thinking about doing these as more like power hops or really punching the ground. So as long as you're warmed up and everything's feeling good, you can really start riding these for maximum height. There's a sudden moment. You may notice I actually clench my fist for the moment right when I hit the ground, create a large amount of body tension, but it's immediately released and you float in the air rather relaxed. So you want to practice building the intensity of these up as we go through it. And that's going to build a lot more elastic power and resiliency through the lower body. So 20 of those, then we're going to do just 10 per leg single leg hops. And toward the end, again, round 4 or 5 of this, you can start popping these a little higher if you're feeling good. And then the third thing is just your basic PVC pipe, dislocate or pass through. So normal grip overhead, snatch with grip, you know the drill there, nice and controlled, 5 reps. And over the rounds, maybe skinning your grip up a little bit as long as you can keep your arms straight, etc. So go ahead and hit that final part of the warm up, and then I'll see you for part A when you're done there. Okay, part A. So you'll need every minute on the minute timer or running minute clock. Minute 1, you're going to do, your barbell folks, you're going to do 1 hang power snatch with the load increasing each round. So hang power snatch, of course, you're going to have your barbell loaded, and it's just going to be in the pulling position. Side with my little better elbow. So dip down and then up. So it's not a squat, not from the floor. It's just, take it out of the rack, or else just deadlift up. Start here, down, catch. 1 rep, and you'll put the bar down, and then you'll immediately do 3 depth jumps, which I don't have that set up here. I don't really have my second box in here, but I think we've been doing these a few weeks. Basically, you have two boxes. Ideally, the second one is higher. And what we want to do then is, using that same kind of pogo movement you practice, I'm going to step off. Now imagine I have a second box out here. I'm going to step off, punch the ground, and I'm going to land on the bigger box. And you'll do that 3 reps, stepping down, climbing back up. If you don't have 2 boxes or a ledge or something you can jump onto that's appropriate, you can just do basically what I did, which is a drop to jump. So basically I step off, I rebound off the ground as high as I can, and then land. But if you have a box, ideally that's what you need. So 1 hang power snatch, put the bar down, 3 depth jumps, and then you're going to rest whatever's left of your minute. If you have dumbbells and kettlebells, if you have even loads and can do a 2-arm snatch, that's great. Most of you probably will have to do 1 arm at a time. So 3 per arm. So we'd be doing a 1-arm hang power snatch in that case. that will go fairly quickly. If you have the option to work your way up and load as you go, great, you can do that. And then also 3 depth jumps for you. So that's the first minute. The second minute, instead of that, what you'll do, everyone will do is 3 kettlebell or dumbbell jump squats. That's the one where I've got my feet in a narrower stance and I would squat from, right over the bell. Going to get set up. Jump as high as I can, absorb, land, set it down. Again, so I'll do 3 reps of that, and then I'll put my bell aside and then 3 tuck jumps, which are you're just going to jump in the air and then try and drive your knees up as high as you can. So 3 of those. So 3 squat jumps, 3 tuck jumps. Okay, so then just so we're clear, 5 rounds, it's 10 minutes. Make sure you're warmed up in the power snatch first, meaning everything's set out. Timer starts, pick up the bar, 1 hand power snatch, put it down, 3 of the depth jumps, rest. The next minute, you do 3 of the kettlebell jump squats, set it aside, 3 of the tuck jumps, rest. Then the next minute, you're back to the hand power snatch and the depth jumps, etc. Okay, so hit pause and I'll see you when you're done with that. Okay, part B. This one is every 2 minutes on the 2 minutes for 10 rounds. This is going to take 20 minutes, which will be basically the rest of the class. So basically you're going to work for a chunk of time and then you'd have some rest. So you'll need a pair of moderate weight dumbbells and your heavy rope. And I'm going to demonstrate with a very light pair of dumbbells. So we have we'll start the workout, you're gonna do 5 devil's press. Devil's press is you drop the bells down, jump back, it's basically a burpee. Then you swing the wheels in and basically snatch the weight up. So it's a dumbbell burpee and sort of a swing style snatch to get both weights overhead. So do 5 of those. After the 5th one, bring the bells down into the rack and they go right into 5 thrusters. Okay. And you'll set them down, you'll grab your heavy rope, you'll knock out 50 heavy rope singles. And the usual subs, no heavy rope, but a regular rope, do regular rope, no rope at all. More pogo jumps, yay. And then whatever is left will be your rest. Now, it'll probably work out to be about a minute rest or so by the time you do all that. The devil's press don't take too long. The thrusters, 5 of them, just go pretty quick, especially if you remember just to, after your last devil's press, just lower them down and go right into it. And then the 50 heavy rope singles take a certain amount of time. So it's basically be roughly a minute on, minute off of work for 10 rounds. So have fun with that, hit pause, and then we'll talk about the very last part when you're done with that. All right, part C. This is quick. We'll probably just out of time by this point. So probably will take a bit. I have the couch to the diagonal stretch. So the couch stretch, I think we all know that. We backed up against the wall in the classic hip flexor stretch. You have a little bit of a twist this time. So you'll get onto the wall, either the toes tucked like we've been doing, or you can do the toes flat up the wall. Either way, you're spending about 90 seconds here. And then you're going to move just forward, just so you're off the wall. And then we'll do the diagonal, which is where I tuck the hips and press forward. And then I take the front leg's hand and rotate and then reach for that back heel. And I'm looking at doing 10 reps. So rep is basically walk in, rotate, touch, and back. So go about like this. Okay, so you get strong stretch here. You also get quite a bit of torso rotation on this one. So it's not just the hip flexor, it's kind of the full kinetic chain. So, all right, that is Monday.